Cher Lafayette at Cabo, welcome.
Cabo, Bobolaye, Dudua.
Welcome, everybody, to another episode of the greatest podcast on the planet. I am Awoy Fajimini Ray.
I am Awoy Fategunshe.
And you are tuned in to Let's Talk Ifa.
Ashe.
Cabo, welcome, everybody.
Cabo.
Hope everybody's doing well.
Welcome.
You know, we here for another episode, man. We getting ready to chop it up.
Wow.
About unity.
Unity
and the Ifa Orisha community.
In the diaspora.
And
beyond.
And beyond, you know.
Beyond.
United States and beyond.
Yes. Man, listen, it's so much going on out here with so many. You know, we have a beautiful culture.
I say.
With a beautiful spirituality, science, a lot of information to live by, strong principles and codes of conducts, and you know all of these things. And it's you know when I look around and I see our people wearing the regalia of our ancestors, the beads of our ancestors, and the carrying the titles, those who deserve titles, carrying those titles very well. You know, I'm proud to be an Omokaroji.
Benny, I say.
I'm proud to be an Omoluabi. I'm proud to be an Omodudua.
I say.
You know, but I think we need to strengthen up in the areas of the whole unity.
We got to do it.
Aspect of our culture, because there's so much division.
Yeah.
But there's so much power and so much. You know, it's so much that we can do now. Only thing we need to get right is that unity together. You know, the links, you know, putting those links back in the chain and strengthening ourselves, because as we know, there's strength in numbers.
I say.
But when you have numbers and we still have these problems that we have, you know, there's nothing set up to tighten us up. So we need a lot of tightening up.
Yeah. I mean,
what do you see?
Just to jump straight into it, let's be honest. We need to have more unity within this community, this nation of Ifa Orisha people, under all, you know, the umbrellas. For instance, you know, we touched on this a little bit when we had KBAC on. KBAC and you all were talking about the Buddhist temple.
Right.
And they only have one in that particular area. And they have, you know, they're able to leverage more because they have the numbers, they have more power, they have, you know, the power of all those people congregating and moving as one unit under one temple. You may have your you'll still have your subgroups and different elays, but everybody, at least once a month, I think, in all the major areas where we have, you know, the states and certain cities where we have Ifa Orisha communities and people, everybody's, you know, in their own elay, in their own corner and doing their thing individually. We have to move different if we want to move with more power and more efficiency, and to do more good in the areas where we are in the communities. You know, like for instance, in let's say in Atlanta, once a month, all the elays should get together and have one thing under one roof and should be able to leverage that number of people, all for the common good of Ifa Orisha, worshipers. Let's just pick Atlanta, right? Atlanta's a hot spot right now. So can you imagine if you had all of the different Ilays and all the different people that are in Ifa, Orisha, Voodoo, whatever, in Atlanta, how many people that would be under one roof? I mean, it would have to be thousands. It would have to be at least 2,000-3,000.
Because we right now, the state that we're living in, we need to be more unified.
We got to move as a nation.
And we need to really start this ASAP.
Right.
Because there is so many Ilays out here. It's so many. You know me, I don't even like to say the word Ilay. I say Egbe because it should be an Egbe. And maybe that's part of the issue is we are saying Ilays. I have my Ilay. My Ilay. A house can be but so big.
Yeah.
But when you say Egbe, an Egbe can be thousands.
Could be the whole state.
Can be the whole
For instance,
state.
There should be an African center, let's say a Yoruba school in Atlanta. And not just for one person's Ilay, but for all the Yoruba people that identify with Yoruba, Ifa Orisha, and want their kids to go to an African-centered school. That should exist. We should have it in North Carolina. We should have it in Virginia, New York, D.C., everywhere, Florida. We should have that. But that's things that are easier to do when everybody comes together to do it. I was just in Atlanta recently, somewhere in North Atlanta, trying to get out of there and all of that traffic, and we stopped to get something to eat. I saw this farmer's market. I said, let me hang this right, so I want to check that out. It was a huge shopping center. It was like a L. They had farmer's market. They had all the businesses, anything you can name, and it was all Vietnamese. All the writing or the signs and the businesses was in Vietnamese, and all the people were coming in the store and leaving the store, and it was like, it was all them. They came together and bought that whole plaza.
They put their money together.
Yeah.
And we can do that.
We do the same thing.
It's enough enough money, enough prosperity that comes through the Orisha community in these states.
We got to just try to change how we operating. We have to operate and move as a unit, as a nation. We don't have to sing Kumbaya and be best friends with everybody. That's not what we're saying, because that's not realistic. Let's just keep it real.
We're trying to carry on the legacy and build a legacy for our children.
Like other cultures do. Everybody, they don't all get along, but as soon as we don't get along, we fall out, and that's it.
Right.
We don't
want to mess with each other.
That's it. More. It's over. So we can't afford to continue to move like that, right? It should be. We were just talking earlier before we started the podcast today, and I feel like it should be several, a lot of little mini villages. You know what I'm saying? Ifa Orisha people having their own little settlement, our own little land, and mini villages and places to shop, and our different come up with ways to support each other and leverage. Like if right now I need somebody to clean my carpets. I've been looking for a black-owned carpet cleaner in Charlotte for about 2 months now. I'm sure there's one out there, but I can't find. I should be able to,
because they're not promoted enough, and we need to always promote.
Yeah, we should have a directory.
Our businesses.
Yeah, anybody that's Ifa Orisha people, I should be able to reach out to them and find somebody. I should be able to have a directory and say, "Oh, I need a carpet cleaner. I'm in Charlotte." I should be able to find a Ifa Orisha person, to come and clean my carpet within the vicinity, or at least somebody black. That's African centered. That don't have to be Ifa. I don't care. A Khan, Voodoo, whatever. We all, family.
And it's so easy to do, but it's always hard to organize and get people on the same page and
stay there.
Yeah, because
you can get them there for about 30 minutes, and something happen.
Just 30?
30. Wow. They'll come. You get them there.
Something emotional.
You got some food and some drink. You get them there. but
And some
keeping us
music.
in some music, but keeping us there is
It's
the problem.
because somebody gonna fight. Somebody gonna have
Yeah,
an
it's
argument,
going, you
or
know,
somebody
such and
gonna-
such keep looking at my husband or
Yeah,
you
all
know.
of those. That's we have to move beyond
beyond that. We got to
that.
think
Move beyond that
bigger than that.
because
And
we
move
have-
different.
We don't have any monuments of our national heroes,
Mm-hmm.
and I always say like, wow, and not to take away from the Orishas that we do honor,
Mm-hmm.
but I think when we start elevating our diaspora leaders who establish things, and we start elevating them as Orishas and building monuments and statues of them, those elders who stood for unity and that brought this whole thing together, I think we will start. I'm hoping that we will start kind of unifying, because those were the ancestors who were about unifying.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And we do have to elevate our communal heroes
I say.
to those levels, because a lot of our communal heroes were like, that's what they fought for. They fought for unity. They fought for family. They fought for black people working together and becoming more. Look. There used to be black schools in this country and businesses.
And that's where we got to get back to.
Like, what happened? So, it's like I said earlier, I'm proud to see that we got to the point where we can wear the regalia, but we got to do the business.
We got to
now.
go to start to go deeper than that. Yeah.
We got to do the business aspect of it now. We got things to build. We don't want our children just again. I always say that's why in the African American community, you see all different cultures promoting their brand in our communities, because our community,
we got to get our dollars.
We don't have no culture, and so you got the nail shops where a lot of black women go to the Asians to get their nails done.
We are economic.
Where are the black nail shops? We do it the best. How come we got to go and spend our dollars to another culture, and they take the money out the community?
We don't care where we spend our money.
The Indians run the hotels. We go to their hotels. We don't have hotels. But there's so much money that's in our community, and we just can't get it together to put our money together and build hotels, build restaurants, build nail shops, for our own people. The money should stay and flow, and before it goes out to community, it should at least circulate 25 times before it goes out of our community. But I think the Orisha community now is grown so much that there's a lot of money coming through.
Oh yeah. It's a lot
Why
of money.
don't we have Shango's solar or electric company? Orisha Oko's restaurant or something like that. We
Farming
need to
or something.
label those things with the ancestors that we worship.
I see.
The farm, the farm, Orisha Oko. The restaurants, all of the things that's part of with our food.
I say.
Whether it's African food, soul food. Well, we don't want to do too much soul food because we know that's that's
healthier.
a killer. But healthy food, we should have those things. Clothing stores.
So that's what the unity will help us to do. Yeah, that's basic what we're saying is that we don't have anything. We don't have any stores, any schools, any banks, any shopping centers, any, institutions. We have to, as Yoruba people, Omo Ekaro, Jire people, Ifa, Orisha, Voodoo, Akan, Lukumi, Candomblé, Santeria, whatever you are, we should have our own things, our own institutions where we can be us and we don't have to worry about, sending our kids to school where certain things are going on and we want to homeschool our kids, and everybody has a different concept of homeschool, and then you don't really get the socialization part that you really need. That's it's tough. Mm-hmm. We should have a network of, of Europe or African-centered people in every state or major city or whatever, and we should have that community, and we should all link up and operate and move as a nation.
Sure.
It was all the ancestors and the first king, Obawaja Ibara Torun, a lot of the ancestors and the elders. That was the whole premise behind. This was a nationalist movement. It was a Pan-Africanist movement. It was a movement of building and let's do for ourselves. We need to go back to operating the way that we did before integration. Mm-hmm, and we take everybody's money we'll take anybody's money from anybody community as far as our businesses are concerned. We're not just trying to do business with other black people or just ourselves, but we're just trying to do business and have institutions that reflect our values,
our image,
our spiritual system, our image, our culture, and all of those things. So we have to stop being so separate and, let's just come out. Like I said, we don't have to be, it's not about being fake or phony or I don't like this person, so I don't want to come around. No, listen, the mission is greater than us as individuals.
Mm-hmm. Or how you personally feel about
it got
somebody.
Nothing to do with you personally.
Nothing to do that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, we got to take that out of everything, because in order for us to elevate and grow and build and move on, and improve ourselves and raise this Yoruba nation, this African-centered nation in this country, that's what we have to do. Other cultures do it. We got to do business with each other. We got to come together under some type of umbrella where everybody's benefiting. And, that's it. That's how we got to move, as a people. We're not forcing you to be friends with somebody you don't want to be friends with or hold hands and sing Kumbaya. It's not about that. It's about how we moving and how we operating, and we got to leverage our numbers and our consumer spending power and leverage our dollars together. We need land. We need to be growing our own food, and we have people that are doing it in pockets, but we need a coordinated effort. The whole Atlanta, the whole African Senate community in Atlanta should be working together on that. In Charlotte,
should have a committee.
In New York, and in Florida, and everywhere.
A government by now.
Yeah.
Within, especially like I said, Atlanta is the hot spot. Everybody go to Atlanta.
Yeah.
All the Babalawos from Nigeria, from wherever city, they move to Atlanta because it's so easy to set up shop.
Yeah.
However, when you move there, you should be able to go to a place to check in.
I say.
To say, I'm Baba such and such from New York City. I'm a Babalawo. My lineage come from Ile-Ife. I have a following. Check in so that you can become part of that committee.
Yeah.
And what's going on in the community in that area. And you become a board member, and how things are running in that city.
I say.
These are the things we need to have, but, it's like people come, they set up, and then, it's nothing for them it's like, okay, I'm going to just start my Ile, and I'm going to get all these little young boys to come and, spin up, and then I'm going to move on. It's like, I'm going to have my Ile here for so many years, and then when I'm done, I'm gonna move to the next city. That's
Yeah.
there's no structure, and that's what needs to be worked on. We need a strong structure. So we need elders. We need what we used to call in Oyotunji an Igbimolosha society of priests. Because there's so many priests. Yet and still, as I was taught, I was always taught to think like a priest, think like a person that's think
Carry
like
yourself
Carry
like
yourself
a priest. Move like a priest
but,
with dignity and
pride.
honor and respect.
and pride. But at the same time,
That might mean not being drunk at 1 o'clock.
Yeah, but we need to kind of get those societies. That's what a society is. What fuels your town.
It's the institutions in the society. It's the institution.
They are the fuel.
We have to create institutions. That's the bottom line, and we got to come together to do it.
And the leaders of those institutions should be able to meet. All of the head of the elays, wherever they at, the heads of those elays should be able to meet up once a month
and be part of one institution for all. Let's say, for instance, all African-centered people, all people that are tradition and who are practicing some form of, African traditional spirituality or culture that identify with that. You know what I'm saying?
I noticed at the Hindu temple, it was a lot of the people that came. They were business people, and when they sat down at the table and they fed everybody, those business people they were linking up, to do business with each other right in the temple. That's where they meet up.
Yeah,
they don't meet up just to pray all day.
Yeah.
They do their little prayers. They go eat, and then they sit. And
that's what everybody do except us.
Yeah,
the black church, when it was rolling strong back in the day, they used to do it there too. But now that's done now. So all we do. So now fast forward now to us. We had the bimbays and everybody turn up. We had a good time. We gonna party, but no
exchange.
There's no real business being done other than the vendor and somebody selling the food and somebody got a couple tables out there. That's part of it, but we have to take that to another level. You know what I'm saying? We got to think big. We got to think bigger than that.
It's upon us.
We got the people, we got the numbers. You know what I mean? So we should be striving to get to the point where, for instance, I know that in the Asian community, an Asian person can come here today from an Asian country somewhere. They don't have to speak English or whatever. They can come here and they have a community. They have a little nation here. They got a community. And I don't care what state they move to, where they're gonna get them some housing. They're gonna get them some income situated. They're gonna work with them to get them a car, and then they can do that within the institution and the framework of their communities. We have to be the same way. We gotta move like that because we got the numbers and we got plenty of people, with money and spending money and doing stuff like that. So we just gotta move different than what we were, and it's not easy because of how we were raised, and we gotta do something different. You know, like we said, we got options, but we really don't have no options.
Nah, it's
you know what I mean?
Yeah, it's been, the time is now, and if people don't see that, then what is the future gonna look like for not just Omokaro Jire people, but for African people in this country, period. What does the future look like? If we're not making those types of power moves and unifying and linking up and producing things.
There you go. You just took the word out of my mouth. That's where I was about to go next. We should get to the point where as much as possible, and I know it's going to be kind of hard in the beginning, but we can get there to the point where we don't have to go to Walmart. We should have our own market. You know what I'm saying? However we do that, like I know in ancient times, the market will only be open maybe 3 days out of the week. So you go on market day, everybody converges and goes to market day to get the things that they need. You know what I'm saying? For the most part, you might need a couple other little things here and there, but we should be striving to get to the point really where we can be 100%. But we got to start somewhere, right? You know, we got a black-owned clothing, laundry detergent. You know, I know we got a lot of black people that are either producing or creating products, or if we can't, guess what?
We don't patronize them.
We don't patronize, but guess what? Even if we're not making it or producing it, if it's something that like necessities that we all know that we got to buy anyway, we should be buying those things in bulk, and then we buy them from each other instead of going to Walmart or you know wherever to buy it. You know what I'm saying? Clothes, food, toothbrushes, toothpaste, mouthwash, laundry detergent, cleaning products, rags, white tees, underwear, socks, paper towels, napkins, toilet tissue, like all the necessities. If we can't produce it, let's just buy it in bulk and just buy it all from each other.
Right. That's a business.
At least we can still benefit from it. You know what I'm saying?
You can make a double amount that you paid for it.
Yeah. And keep that money in the ecosystem.
And keep it circulating amongst our own people.
Yeah.
Because again, you know, when you see the dollar circulate through the black community, it goes in and goes right back out.
So then if we keep it, so what do we do with it? We can, you know, we can help people. We can buy land and build houses and do scholarships and different things like
we can do
in the community and feed homeless, and we can do it backpacks and
we can do what we want to. Once
you do things that nations do. That's what we do with it. You know what I'm saying?
I share. You build the nation up more.
Yeah, that's what we do.
You fuel the nation. You know, you keep the fire burning, the nation's fire burning. You continue to fuel it.
Yeah.
But if you don't, the fire gonna go out.
It's gonna go out. I was talking to my brother Dreek earlier. Shout out to Dreek here, Black Diamond, black owned, firearm sales and training. You know what I'm saying? You can hit them up, shop them out here in Charlotte. But we were just talking, you know, earlier. Daycare is the foundation. We don't we don't have any, you know, African centered daycares that can feed our African center school. We not even take care of our own babies, and there's plenty of money.
You know,
there's plenty of money in that. You know what I'm saying?
Because it's a lot of money in daycare, but I think, you know, when you got a lot of women, you know, they trying to get bulky now. They trying to get muscles. They don't spend enough time.
Yeah.
With the Omo Day.
With the Omo Day, yeah.
Spend a lot of time in the gym.
Listen, y'all.
Trying to look bulky to go out and get a man.
These are things that we got to do.
These are the things the women can be doing. These are things that
we got to do.
The women can be doing the daycares. If they don't open them, they can run them. The men can open them and put the money together and open them and let the women, the African women, run them.
Yeah, and we got to lower this whole new paradigm with housing and these apartments and everything. Like, it's not sustainable and it's headed in a direction that's scary with gentrification and all that. So we got to move it. We got to buy land and do little mini villages and have our own little schools and our own little areas. And, you know, we got to move different, because if we can get that housing straight, we can get a little land and throw you something on there and make it nice or whatever. Now we don't have to worry about paying that $2,000 a month or more.
That $2,000 can go into a business.
Now, or
on the land.
You can do a lot of things different now once you lower that overhead. You know what I mean?
Yeah, you got enough money to invest into. It's about investment.
Yeah.
You know, it's about investment.
A lot of us can't, you know, we throw our kids in daycare, we pay all that money to, you know, to go to work just to pay the daycare or just to pay whatever bills, and we're not we wasting and throwing away a lot of money being wasted just on survival. when we could be pooling our resources together and living cheaper with lower overhead, and then take the extra money to invest and, you know what I'm saying, and actually build and create this nation, you know, of Yoruba or African centered, or, you know, however you want to slice it and dice it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's hectic out here right now.
It's something to think about.
The lack of unity.
Yeah.
You know, it's hectic. We should be able to leave here and go to one of our restaurants.
Go to a
Eat well.
a Yoruba restaurant. We have
spend
one
our money.
here, but we don't know them people. Like, I mean, we'll go there and eat, but we don't know what they doing with the money when we spend our money with them. You know what I'm saying? We don't know.
They're not
we don't-
keeping it in the community.
We don't have a
here.
community. We don't
yeah.
have an economic, you know, an infrastructure, a little ecosystem that, you know, we know that everybody's going to benefit from patronizing this business because we're all part of this
The Cubans do it here in
economic
the United
ecosystem.
States.
You know,
The Cubans do it here in the United States.
yeah, everybody do it but us.
They do it, but us.
Everybody do it.
You know, we're the laughing stock.
We got to get
the
back.
world.
We got to
We gotta
get back
get
to
back.
it. Yeah.
And we have all of the tools we'll need. We have educated.
Yeah, we got it. We got the
people.
tools.
We have great business-minded people.
But you know, what we did lose is the knowledge or the will or the ability to work together. Mm-hmm. Because back then, before integration, we didn't have a choice.
That's the thing.
So-
We were survival, and so we had no choice but to pull together.
Yeah, and we were doing great. That's why they attacked us and had to, you know, the bomb us
Tulsa,
and blow stuff up and
Tulsa.
set it on fire
Yeah.
because
It's the
we were
fear
doing good.
now.
So once they figured out, you know what, we've been going about this all wrong. Because if we sit there, if we keep going like this, they gonna rebuild and they gonna pass us. We need to get this integration popping so that they'll leave that alone and they'll come
invest into
and
us. Investing into
what
our
happens.
shots.
So it's a mindset.
It's a mindset.
We got to get our mindset
We gotta reset
back
the
right.
mind.
Yep. It ain't gonna be everybody, but we'll start with whoever, you know, is conscious enough to do it, and you know what how that go. Everybody else will jump on the bandwagon on the back end. You know what I mean? Listen, bro, I'm 48. You are.
Well, I'm 50, brother.
So look, we just had this conversation. Unity. We got about me and this brother here. If you in our age bracket, we got about a good 20 years left.
20,
20, 25
25 years.
to
And
do
that-
what we gonna do.
And that comes quick.
Yeah. So we can't be playing out here with this, and we have to be bringing the youth along and teaching them and starting to make sure that they're good and learning now, so that we know we got capable hands. We're gonna turn this over to, you know what I'm saying, when we get 70 and they got, by God's grace, you know what I'm saying, by the grace of the ancestors, if we live into old age, you know, so we got a lot of work to do. 20 years go by real fast, and we have a lot of things. We have institutions to build, and we got a lot of work to do in the diaspora, not just the United States, but, you know, for melanated people across the world.
Yes.
Especially for us, our group specifically is if you identify with your traditional African culture and spiritual system, whatever that is, you know, we should be moving as a nation.
I share.
You know what I'm saying?
It's important.
We should be moving like that.
Yes.
You know what I mean? And I don't have all the answers on how we do that. I have some ideas, but we will be bringing on and having guests
I share.
that specialize in that can help us,
business,
you know,
People that specialize in business that can help guide us.
and nation building.
and investing.
Yeah.
Because we need those. We need that. We need to know where to put our money.
How do we do it?
And how to invest into what we want to invest in.
Yeah. Stuff that we used to know. We have to
that we used to
rediscover, kind of like, you know, we got to retrace the steps of our ancestors because they had all that stuff set up.
Yes.
We had the stock exchange. We had our own insurance companies. We had the movie theaters. We had the food, the hospitals, the schools, the banks. We had all that.
We had the Isusu system.
We had all of that.
Where,
So we can do it again.
You know, the
We have
Isusu
to.
is a good start, where that money circulates, and then some of that money goes into
Yeah.
different things you can invest into.
Yeah. We can do it.
We can
You know
do
what
it.
I mean? So we just wanted to touch base and just talk about unity amongst our community of our,
Sure.
Shay, Farisha, Akan, Voodoo, Lukumi,
Whatever you
do,
call yourself.
wherever you at.
Whatever you call yourself.
Want you to think
we
about
all
that.
one.
And we will be doing some things to, to try to take action to bring some of these things into reality, right? So
On our part,
stay
what
tuned
we're gonna
because,
do.
we'll be talking to all of the spiritual leaders of the Elays in Atlanta, and we will be putting together a Let's Talk Ifa event where all of the different Elays and groups will be invited, and will be humbly invited to come and participate. And let's see what this looks like when we get together all under one roof. We will worship because that's what we do anyway. But we also going to talk about, being unified and creating institutions and seeing what that would look like. So be on the lookout. Like we say, we're not just here to talk about stuff. Right. We had to actually make things happen and do things. So, this has been another episode of Let's Talk Ifa. I am Awo Ifa Jaminire.
I am Awo Ifa Tegunshe.
And you are tuned in to the greatest podcast
on the planet.
On the planet. Let's Talk Ifa. Odabo for now. I do for everybody. Peace and love. Ashe.
Ashe.